Hey, somebody used to get
Okay, our
a generator.
budget hearings are back in session. And we will have Kelly present the adjustments to the original budget.
Okay. Okay, as Doug said, this is a summary of 3 days of budget hearings and head scratching to balance this budget. First line, Head Start match, that is adding $128,000 to the Head Start budget. If you look down below, we have to do this by funding source. Trying to.
Line 13.
And line 13 is the use out of general fund to fund that Head Start match. The next few lines are all of the donations that were added to the donation budget. I'm not going to read each one of those individually, but if you just look at them, make sure that we do have them all on there. Next line is the reduction in the advocacy initiative under the Attorney General's budget, a reduction in uses of $1 million. Next is summer activities for Sequoia, a reduction from Gen Fund of $302,901, and that came about from the discussions about utilizing DOI funds rather than tribal funds. Next is increasing Connor's nursing cohort program by $78,000 out of general fund. This next one, I actually need a motion on. I had brought forward a proposal to add $2 million to carryover for motor fuels tax and increase contract health by $2 million. In order to balance, I'm requesting that be reduced back to $1.5 million.
Mr. Chair.
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded that we reduce the amount to contract health from $2 million to $1.5 million in order to help balance the budget. Is there any discussion?
Call for question.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Bradley Cobb,
Yes.
Joe Crittenden,
Yes.
Jody Fishinghawk,
Yes.
Meredith Fraley, Janelle Fulbright, Don Garvin,
Yes.
Chuck Hoskin Jr.,
Yes.
Hannah Glory Jordan,
Yes.
Curtis Snell,
Yes.
Chris Soap,
No.
David Thornton,
Yes.
Kara Cowan Watts,
Yes.
Bill Anglin,
Yes.
Bill John Baker,
No.
Jack Baker,
Yes.
Harley Buzzard.
Yes.
13 yes and 2 no.
Okay. Motion carried. Okay. Proceed, Ms. Ketcher.
Thank you. And I do want to state on this line item, once carryover is available, I'm sure we would be coming back and requesting to add some additional money there if it's needed. The next line is the transfer out from general fund to fund the Head Start initiative. The next line, this is bringing in some increases in the 2008 tobacco tax that we had not anticipated when the original budget was prepared. As you're aware, the tobacco tax has gone down significantly in '08, but we do have a little bit more in that fund than what was budgeted, so $817,000 is being brought in as a source. The $645,000 as a use, again, is a transfer below to supplement the motor fuels tax higher education scholarships. That's basically a balancing between the two different funds. Next line is to remove from the uses the unappropriated reserve. Next is adding $500,000 to individual water and sanitation. Next is individual water, self-help community water lines, a source and a use of $200,000 because there's some carryover there that had not been brought forward on that particular budget. Next is $100,000 carryover for stoves, heating, and air conditioning assistance. Again, funding through carryover from that accounting unit and also a use. Clothing for kids, an additional $200,000 use. Tribal Bridge Program, technical correction. Original budget had this funded with carryover. Backing that out of the sources ensures that the new monies are added to that accounting unit. Boys and Girls Club, an additional $45,000. Community Investment Summer Youth Program, an additional $186,180, which I believe brings that up to $500,000. Tribal Council Community Assistance, $425,000. Tribal Council, Joint Council, Red Clay, $35,000. Next line is an increase in the tobacco revenue projection for '09 based on the additional collections for '08, $750,000. ICW extracurricular activities, $10,000. Cherokee Scholars Program, $70,000. Economic Development for Career Services, $50,000. The next line is bringing in the motor fuels tax unappropriated carryover of $2 million. Line 30, minor emergency repair, adding $200,000. Community Youth Grant Program, adding $142,500, also sourced with carryover. Higher Education Scholarships, in the source column, the $645,000 is reflected of the transfer from general fund, and an additional use of $2.4 million.
Mrs. Ketcher,
Yes,
may I just explain
sure.
the changes?
Please do.
Yesterday, we had agreed to put an additional $1,000 into this program, which was to be paid at the beginning of this semester. And in discussions with the principal chief, his suggestion was that we pay $500 now and then $500 at the beginning of next semester. And they're still getting the $1,000 that we had agreed to. Mr. Baker.
And a caveat to that is we will have our study event. They'll get the $1,000. It'll just be, instead of lump sum right now, they'll get it at the now and then at the beginning of the next semester. And it will give us an opportunity to do the study to see what funding level we really need to be at. So, God willing, the next semester they'll not only get the $500, but they'll get a supplement on top of that, whatever carryover dollars we can find, and what we justify as the most we can give them that is not more than they need, that we can find the dollars for. But that will all come out of that study. So it's not that we're not going to do it, it's just we're going to wait for availability of funds to be able to look at the carryover dollars and complete our study in, was it October?
November 1st.
No, by November 1st. And so come January, I'm hoping we see a budget mod that says that the kids that are ready for the second semester will not only get the $1,000 and the $500, but another amount to be determined. So it's going to help our availability of funds, and that's the main reason for dragging the feet on this list a little bit.
Okay. Ms. Jordan.
Different subject? Is that?
Well, let's continue going
Okay.
through these. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Ketcher.
Okay. And the final item on the adjustments is to add $45,000 to higher ed graduate scholarships, bringing our total uses for this budget to $478,270,166. Total sources, $481,693,701.
Okay. But I would entertain a motion that we approve the budget
So moved.
Second.
and discussion. Ms. Jordan.
I just wanted to make sure on number 21, Boys and Girls Club, Callie,
Yes.
on 21, on Boys and Girls Club, through Career Services, how can we be assured that 20,000 of that is going to that backpack program?
I mean, basically, that's what this council discussed during the committee, and the leader of that group has made that commitment, so I think we can be pretty certain it will go for that.
So if it looks like it might be redirected somehow through a misunderstanding, we go to make sure Diane takes
Yes.
care of that? Okay.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Yes, Ms. Watts. The motion carries. Ms. Watts.
Mr. Chairman, is it appropriate at this time to ask that we move it to full council on Monday night in lieu of having a special council meeting, assuming the body would approve with 2/3 vote to amend the agenda?
Yes, I will entertain that motion.
Second.
That's great with me.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded that we move this to full council. We'll have to have a 2/3 vote to amend the agenda at full council to do so. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, here's the comprehensive budget act with the numbers in it. So this will be, that doesn't meet the consent aid, but it's not in your packet for Monday night, but at least
Well, there's
Mr. Chairman,
no, yes.
I just want to thank our staff for the patience for the last 3 days, and I know the Madam Speaker would as well, and you as Chair, and then move to adjourn.
That's second.
I just want to thank Doug, organized all this for us, and he did a yeoman's job, and I think
And I would say that I appreciate the tribal
Kelly
councils.
too.
As well as all the staff and the natural resources staff.
Yes.
So, motion's been made and seconded, we adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, we are adjourned.